What is going on, guys? This is the Hidden Hero, and in today's video we're going to talk about how does damage work in Lost Relics. So I'm in this new feature called Dreamscape here, and what's cool about Dreamscape is every single item I have here, it is a dream, so therefore I will be able to test on as much experiments as damage output as I can in this mode. So everything will be safe here. Now, in this video, we're going to first show you what happens when you have no gear and how much damage you do, and then we'll work our way up and try to understand how does damage work in Lost Relics. Let's see. So let's have a simple Skeletor come up here. And now here, that damage, I can only do 22 damage with just a left click. So it's not that strong, but it's a pretty low level Skeletor, so I can generally just punch it to death. And if you right click, you're able to do 80 damage. Now, here's the thing about mobs. When there are mobs, you'll notice that I'll do less damage when hitting 3 at a time. And that's the thing, you can only hit at most 3 at a time monsters. And if I right click, I also only do less damage as well when you're fighting mobs. So it's very important that you do not get swarmed or ambushed by multiple enemies, because if you do, well, you're gonna have a bad time taking a lot of damage. So that's why it's very important when you're moving. You have to learn how to kite. Kite is this technique where, let me get 2 monsters here. Okay, this is perfect. When you're kiting, you want to be able to attack and run away as best as you can, so you're not ambushed in this situation. You want to be able to try to avoid taking a little bit of damage as much as possible versus just standing there and taking all the hits. So as you can see, this is just me with no equipment on. So let's test when we have equipment. I forgot to mention, this is your first time coming to my channel, be sure to like and subscribe down below, and let's get back into the video. Alright. So you're going to notice that I have 2 different weapons here. I have a rusty sword, which is a one-handed sword, and an iron broadsword, which is a two-handed sword. You're going to notice immediately that a one-handed sword is significantly weaker than a two-handed sword, but it will definitely be much faster than a two-handed sword. Okay, so to show off the one-handed sword, right? This particular sword is actually really bad because I'm only doing 29 damage, but it says the damage per hit is 32. Now you're thinking, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense, you know, it should do 32 damage. But if you notice the effect, it says minus 10 damage output. Oh hell no! So this is a pretty bad sword. Well, that's why it's called a rusty sword, but it's pretty bad. And even if I right click, so that means my right click won't even do 118 damage. It'll only do, let's see, 106. So as you can see, the damage output is still scaled based on how many mob enemies are there. You see, this weapon does 63 damage, exactly 63 damage. So this weapon is far superior in terms of damage output, but I'm not able to move as smooth as I am with an iron, with a one-handed sword. One important note is that there is this thing called armor value. So I've tested every single monster behind the scenes just now, that I've actually tested every single monster, including bosses. And that there's only one particular enemy for now, which I'm pretty sure will change in the future. But this one enemy called Grodd, he has a unique armor value. What's this? As I left click, right, there's a part where it'll say 52 damage. Sorry, not 52, 57 damage, you see? So let's continue now with this concept of armor. Why? So you'll notice that I have 63 per hit here, but armor will give me a 3% buff. So we'll use Grodd here, right on time. I'll start swinging here. Once I hit him, I'm now doing 65 for damage. And when I right click, I'm doing 242 damage on his armor instead of 235. And let me see, if I just left click, his armor reduction now does 58 when his armor is applied. So if you don't know how to make armor, I have a video about it right over here. Sorry, over here. So be sure to check out that video. So now we're going to talk about damage multipliers here. Damage multipliers in the sense of, just to choose discrete melee potion, so I'll be doing an additional 10% damage to the Grodd here. So as you can see, I'm doing 72 now and 65 as the reduction damage. Now let me right click here. Oops, I missed. 240. I'm doing a raw 240 now. It's like, okay, now we're doing 267. So 267 as the maximum damage I can do right now on Grodd. Here we go. So now, okay, so now we're gonna test brute force on this enemy, on this guy here. So now I'm doing 82 and 74 per swing. Just my left click. So it's pretty obvious that I'm doing way more damage than expected here. 303. So I'm going to use both the potions at the same time, and now you're going to notice the number is going to be much significantly different. $333. So now the damage output is much stronger. Now so as soon as I kill him, so now you're wondering, wait, what just happened? How am I doing more damage even though I use them separately? I'm using them together. There's this thing called stacking that I will credit Herdy and Hellbringer on this concept. So let me explain really quickly on what happened here. So how does the damage work in this game when you stack? So how it stacks is like this. We'll take our broadsword of 235. We had the armor, it's being multiplied not by 3%, by 1.03. From there, we had the discrete potion, which is a 10%. So it's not 0.0, it's not 0.1, it's actually times 1.1. And you can keep multiplying afterwards. Then you stack the brute force potion, which is 25%, which is 1 times 1.25. So this is how I was able to do approximately 333 damage per swing on the Grodd. Hey guys, this is Hiro from the future. So basically I was running some tests. I have a little spreadsheet here just to note all the damage outputs that I've done. When I was smacking the Grodd, I was recording this, and this is the results I've got. So to get these numbers, these percentages I got, there's this simple math formula called the new. So it's the new minus the original divided by the original times 100%. And this is just called the percentage change. That's all this is. That's all this formula is called, percentage change. And the idea with this method is this. All you have to do is you could use every single number here on the left hand side where it says no armor as your original. This is like the raw damage that you'll be doing. And what you would do is you would take the new damage, which is 58. So for example, we'll showcase this 2% difference. How? So the new damage is 58, and we'll take the original damage, which is 57. Then you take that original damage divided by 57 times 100%, and on a calculator, we can do that really quickly. 58 minus 57 divided by 57 times 100%. 1.75, so it's roughly 2%. So it's roughly 2% increase, basically. So that is how I got these numbers for the percentage difference. And the main point when you're first starting to play Lost Relics, the idea of showing how much damage output goes through when it comes to armor, potions. I didn't even mention relics either. So definitely I'm gonna probably showcase me smacking somebody really hard with my relics, uh, armor, a very great weapon, and consumables. I'll definitely show you guys that in a little bit, but I just wanted to make this quick video from Hero from the future. I hope this video made sense on the damage output you can do on the monsters, and I hope this video was helpful. And be sure to like and share, subscribe to this channel, and never forget, guys, to follow your arrow. Take care. This guy just got destroyed horribly.